Markets down triple digits at midweek on continued follow-through from Japan and several soft U.S. data points. I'm Rebecca Darst from the Market Access Center here at the New York Stock Exchange. This is your NYSE MacDesk floor report for Thursday, June 5th. Downside for the Dow Blue Chips has accelerated this afternoon. The index is off its lows of the session, but still down 165 points, bringing the Dow below a reading of 15,000 earlier today. That's 16.5 S&P points as the market awaits the release of the Fed Beige Book at 2 p.m. All industry groups are trading lower today, and the demand for portfolio protection has the volatility index, that's the VIX, trading higher by nearly 8% at a reading of 17.5. Let's quickly recap the action on global markets overnight. Major indices were teed off to a weak start during the Asia-Pacific session overnight. Japan's Nikkei index closed nearly 4% lower as details of the economic plan of Prime Minister Shinzo Abe fell short of investor expectations. Abe said that a comprehensive policy strategy aimed at economic growth, known as the Third Arrow, will be presented before the Japanese parliament this fall at the earliest. Just by way of some context, Abe has committed to a program of reforming and deregulating a number of Japan's business sectors and doubling foreign direct investment in that country by the end of this decade. An election for the upper house of parliament next month means that Abe's staggered timeline for the introduction of this new legislation will have to wait until after the vote, and the governor of the Bank of Japan has already said that central bank has done what it could to stimulate the country's economy. So Abe's remarks, which brought nothing new to the table, were a disappointment to market players. Markets across the region were lower as well. Hong Kong's Hang Seng closing in on its 200-day moving average to the downside. That's going to be an area to watch over the next few days. While matters were quieter in China, where the Shanghai Composite closed fractionally lower. In the European session, we had a series of mostly lower PMI services reads and an unchanged read on Eurozone GDP for the first quarter. In currency markets, the euro showed subdued action in most of its major crosses, but keep in mind that we are trading ahead of an interest rate decision from the ECB tomorrow, so we may see some volatility emanating from the currency and debt markets ahead of the U.S. cash equity session tomorrow. Here in the U.S., we had the first of a series of key jobs numbers to close out the week, and the emerging picture is a disappointing one. The May ADP private payrolls number was released ahead of the open. The market was looking for an increase of 157,000 payrolls for the month of May. Instead, the number came in at a weak 135,000, an ominous reading for the May employment report, which comes out Friday ahead of the bell. We also had soft reads in April factory orders and May ISM services this morning, which added to the sense of economic malaise. Ahead of that Friday jobs number, we have been seeing open interest gains in SPY options, primarily on the put side for the past few sessions. Let's take a look at the data points that will be moving global markets in the week to come. On Monday, June 10th, we've got data from Japan concerning May bankruptcies, consumer confidence, and the Economic Watchers survey. In the European session, Germany's May wholesale price index is due out, along with a May business sentiment index from the Bank of France, along with industrial production. We'll also get the June Centix investor confidence report tracking sentiment across the Eurozone. Tuesday, June 11th, Australia gets things started with its May NAB business confidence survey, and Asia is sure to take some cue from the Bank of Japan, which is due to release its latest monetary policy statement and target rate early next week. The UK will release April industrial production. Now here in the US, we've got the May NFIB Small Business Optimism Index, April wholesale inventories, and April JOLTS job openings. A heavy raft of Japanese data follows at midweek with May domestic corporate goods prices, April machine orders, corporate loans and discounts, and the June monthly economic report from the BOJ. Australia will release June consumer confidence, France will release Q1 non-farm payrolls, and we'll get May consumer price data from the two biggest Eurozone economies, France and Germany. Eurozone industrial production for April will be released, and several employment data points from the UK. Canada releases May housing starts and home price data, while the US will release its May monthly budget statement. On Thursday, we've got jobs data from Australia, Q1 capacity utilization and April new home prices from Canada, and May retail sales numbers from the US, along with import prices, April business inventories, and weekly jobless claims. And finally, we will end the week with Q1 industrial production and producer price data from Hong Kong, May consumer prices for the Eurozone composite reading, April manufacturing sales from Canada, and some fairly academic data points from the US, May PPI, industrial production and capacity utilization, Q1 current account balance, and June University of Michigan confidence. We'll be watching the market action as it happens here from the trading floor, so check us out next Wednesday for the next MacDesk floor report direct from the NYSE trading floor.